So I thought I'd make a follow-up video talking about the Austin St. John drama since it initially popped off at the start of the week, because there is a lot that has happened since this whole debacle went down. I mean, it's gotten so big that websites like Entertainment Weekly, TMZ, and other news outlets have picked up this story and they've started talking about it. That's how big it's gotten. That's how big it's gotten, where it has gone out of the niche circle of the Toku and Power Rangers community. The big news outlets are talking about it, which is crazy to think about. Like, most of them have been talking about how Austin St. John wants to make a clothing line with Hitler quotes on there. A lot of them have been popping off with the shade that Amy Jo Johnson threw at him with the subtweets, and a lot has gone down since then. Because one of the things I brought up in my previous video saying I want to see if Austin St. John is going to respond to this and what kind of response he's going to give about this. Well, funny enough, he hasn't given a response about this. Whenever someone brings up the Hitler clothing line or how this is a bad idea for his brand new clothing line that he's going to do, his team on Facebook and social media have been deleting and blocking anyone who brings it up. And it's been a couple of days, so you think that Austin and his team have came up with some kind of response about this. Well, no, they haven't. They haven't said anything. The last thing Austin posted on his social media was promoting his overpriced merch that he's selling. So yeah, he hasn't said anything about this. I don't know if he's got a response cooking or he's just going to wait for all of this to blow over, but yeah, Austin has not said anything, and anyone who criticizes him about it or says anything about it on his social media pages, well, they're blocking and they're deleting comments, which is never a good sign. If you're deleting and blocking comments about a recent controversy you've been in, that is never a good sign, I will say that. So, yeah. Fanwood, the streaming website that he's partnered with, they put out a response saying, hey, whatever our clients do, we do not support them, but we don't know if they're going to be dropping Austin St. John just yet. There has been some other controversies with Fanwood, like graphic designers and stuff like that has been coming out recently. I will plug Henry Resilient. He's been covering this story like crazy by doing a lot of live streams and having a lot of clips on it, so go check out Henry. Usually I've been following his videos because he's got contacts, he's been doing some digging about this whole Austin St. John thing as it's been popping off. Me, I've been mostly busy with work and I've been trying to keep up with this situation whenever I can. Now, I mentioned earlier that Austin's social media team has been deleting and blocking people whenever they call them out, but now they're also trying to gaslight people whenever they call out Austin on his bullshit, and this is one of the responses that has been floating around on Facebook and social medias, where they said this: Austin never said he was going to have shirts with quotes from Hitler on them. What he did say that Hitler was a demon on steroids, but he did have some good one-liners, that the new line of shirts would be about warriors. Those warriors are not necessarily all military people or fighters. You'll be surprised who is included. So yeah, gaslighting 101, because we'll play the clip again for you, where he actually did say that he'll have quotes from Hitler on the shirt. So just in case you missed the clip, here it is again.
So I have some Ranger-oriented clothes, and then I'm building a warrior line where I will go back in history, from pre-Greek days, as far back as I can. I'm going to have famous quotes from warriors of all ilks, including the terrible ones. Wow. Hitler was, a demon on steroids, but he had some pretty good one-liners.
What are we doing?
So everybody from the great ones to the infamous and terrible ones. And I'm going to have quotes in their languages put up in Japanese, English, Russian, Greek, whatever it was. Wow. And then in English, and I'm going to have some kanji kana done and some various other artwork.
And what baffles me is people are defending Austin St. John on this. Not any big YouTubers from what I've noticed. No big YouTubers have defended him. But a lot of actors and actresses who worked on Power Rangers have stayed silent about it. The only ones who I've noticed who have spoken out about this as of the time of recording this video is Amy Jo Johnson, who threw shade at Austin a couple of days ago, and that made headlines, and Cameron Gibo, who was known for playing Orion in Super Mega Force, which Cameron has been also really good to call people out on their shit in the Power Rangers fandom when they do something wrong. Like, he was quick to call out Blake Foster back in the day. He was quick to call out Andrew Gray, who played Troy, because Andrew was posting a lot of unhinged stuff back in the day. I think he still is, to be honest, but I haven't really been keeping up with him. But Cameron's like quick to call people out on that when he notices it and catches wind of it. But there's been a lot of other actors and actresses on Power Rangers who have remained silent about this. But people think that the fandom is overreacting to this. They think they're blowing this out of proportion. Look, I'll say this once and I'll say this again. He wants to put Hitler quotes on a shirt. You know, the guy that caused the Holocaust, the death of millions where people were abused, deported, murdered, civilians were prisoners of war and they died. Like, you have to think, that's the guy who he wants to put on a shirt. The guy that is not even a warrior, the guy that wasn't even on the front lines, the guy that was a pussy and killed himself in the end. He wants to put that guy on a shirt and say that he was a warrior, he was a hell of a demon on steroids and shit like that. He wants to put that guy on a shirt. And people are trying to defend him by saying, oh, he hasn't said what Hitler lines he wants to put on a shirt. What good lines did Hitler have that did good for the world? None. None at all. But yeah, like I said earlier, special thanks to Amy Jo Johnson and Cameron Gibo for calling Austin St. John out on his shit, because this is a terrible fucking idea, and it baffles me that there are people trying to defend Austin St. John on this. You know, the hardcore fans that grew up watching him. People are still trying to defend their childhood idol, because, you know, he can do no wrong. He played my hero on TV, so he's not a bad guy. He's a good guy, because he played the Red Ranger. Look, you can separate yourself from the actor and the character, and I feel like a lot of people need to do that when it comes to Power Rangers. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave this video here. Will I make a third and final video talking about this? Possibly. Probably once we get a proper response from Austin St. John. Not a cookie cutter copy and paste ChatGPT response. I want to actually wait for a proper response. Will he do a live stream talking about this? I honestly don't know. But we'll see what happens, and if I make a third and final video talking about this, I may not. We'll see what happens, but like I said, I want to see that response and laugh to see how he's going to dig himself out of this one, because he's dug himself a pretty deep hole and he probably can't climb out of this. He's probably going to wait for the smoke to clear and then climb out of the hole that he dug himself, but we'll go from there. So I can't wait to read the comments on this one. I've been getting a lot of hate comments from the previous video. That video has been shared around in circulation on social media. I've had a couple of hate Instagram messages here and there, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, guys, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Whatever that will be. Probably a Boom Boom Show video. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know how to close this video, but fuck Austin St. John and this shitty idea for his merch line.